The verdict is in, and nobody won. Yes, when it comes to the collapse of Symbolic, the Charity Commission did a whole investigation, and really in some ways,
Prince Harry has reportedly been pushed out of any real influence in one of his own charity projects. And this isn't some quiet reshuffle, it's a public, stinging removal of authority that exposes a far deeper crack in his leadership than most imagined. Insiders from the organization reveal that multiple serious complaints were filed about his management style, his behavior, and a lack of meaningful strategic input, ultimately leading to what many are calling a discreet but decisive ousting from the very cause he once helped create. The damage goes far beyond image. It marks a troubling shift in how Harry is now seen as a global figurehead and philanthropist.
This situation, both Prince Harry and the chair of the board, Dr. Sophie Chanduka. And what we want to do today is actually go through the actual Charity Commission report, because I've seen a lot of people.
Let's uncover the startling truths behind this royal unraveling. Sources say Harry's role in the charity had turned increasingly toxic, with several team members sounding the alarm over his controlling nature and habit of dismissing expert guidance. Many described him entering meetings with the air of a celebrity rather than a collaborator, pushing for flashy ideas that lacked real depth or practical grounding.
Version of the situation, because everybody has their spin here. But what I want to do is have us go through the actual report, not doing little clips or anything like that. Read what the Charity Commission.
Internal memos reveal a tense atmosphere, with staff feeling they had to tread carefully as Harry allegedly ignored standard protocols and brushed off constructive feedback. Most damaging, however, are claims of financial turmoil linked to his involvement. While no criminal charges have emerged, repeated concerns were raised about his push for extravagant PR events and needless expenses that siphoned funds from vital projects. Senior officials reportedly warned that the charity's priorities were drifting, driven more by Harry's fixation on boosting his personal image than on creating lasting, meaningful impact.
Prince Harry has responded to evidence of widespread bullying at an organisation he set up in memory of his mother, Princess Diana. The dispute at the heart of Centre Bali saw the Duke of Sussex resign as the charity's chair.
This sparked audit investigations and uneasy questions from longtime donors, many of whom were left disheartened and doubtful about the charity's path. Tensions between Harry and other board members reportedly escalated to the point where several influential figures resigned in protest. In a leaked statement, one member called him unfit for long-term leadership, citing his inability to keep emotions separate from responsibility. The prince, who has long branded himself a modern humanitarian, is said to have repeatedly butted heads with professionals who rejected his Hollywood-inspired approach.
Who accused him of harassment during an interview.
Charity was founded in honour of our mothers and symbolizes.
There's an irony that Harry's voice is on this video, called The New Chapter and recorded before the breakdown within Centre Bali. Now,
the infighting shattered the board's unity, ultimately resulting in a unanimous decision to restructure one that quietly pushed Harry to the sidelines without any public statement. It wasn't only top board members who felt pushed away. Former staff members, speaking anonymously, said his presence brought more of a media spectacle than genuine support. Every visit meant flashing cameras, chaos, and no meaningful follow-up. One employee revealed that months of internal HR complaints piled up, citing everything from unprofessional conduct to poor delegation and frequent absences.
Now a report says all sides have to take the blame. The Charity Commission criticising both Prince Harry and Chair Sophie Chanduka for allowing their personal dispute to play out so publicly, including through this exclusive interview.
Faced with mounting concerns, the charity's trustees felt they had no option but to act. Avoiding a public scandal, they quietly executed a calculated power shift that effectively removed Harry from any real decision-making. Major donors, once eager to align with his name, began pulling their support after project reports showed glaring inconsistencies and few tangible results. Several investors openly questioned whether their money was going toward real impact or merely serving to maintain Harry's public profile. The financial strain, sources say, left the trustees with no choice but to step in.
Really, what Prince Harry wanted to do was to eject me from the organization, and this went on for months. It went on for months through bullying, harassment. I have documentation.
The regulator found no
Knowing that staying tied to Harry could threaten future partnerships and funding, the trustees acted decisively. As more details emerge about his startling exit from the very charity he helped build from scratch, the turmoil behind the scenes feels less like a simple restructuring and more like a royal betrayal. A trusted insider told People that both Prince Harry and his longtime co-founder, Prince Seeso of Lutu, now see no path back to Centibel, while the new chairperson remains in charge.
evidence of bullying, misogyny and misogynoir, a relief for Harry and his supporters. Sophie Chandauka does remain as chair of Centre Bali, as the charity is placed under a regulatory action plan.
Sophie Chandauka remains firmly in control, and the words from insiders are as haunting as they are heartbreaking. Both Prince Harry and Prince Seeso are said to be devastated, viewing the move as nothing less than a hostile takeover. This was their life's work, a mission they began 19 years ago, pouring in their blood, sweat, tears, and personal funds to grow it into a multi-million-pound charity that brought nothing but good to the beneficiary communities of Lutu and Botswana.
It's generally a very straightforward action plan with maybe 5 or 6 steps that the trustees are bound to take with a timetable, and the trustees have to relate back to the Charity Commission to report on their observance and carrying out of the action plan.
This isn't just a shuffle, it's a coup. A meticulously planned removal of the original visionaries, replaced by a cold, corporate-style regime that values polished PR and bureaucracy over genuine purpose. The fact that Harry and Seeso, the symbolic and spiritual fathers of Centibel, now feel exiled from the very charity they built speaks volumes about the toxic culture said to have taken root under Chandauka's rule. What makes it even more painful is that this was never a vanity project born from palace privilege. It was deeply, achingly personal. Prince Harry first visited Lutu in his youth.
But it doesn't seem to have stopped the war of words. Dr. Chandauka, in a statement, said the unexpected adverse media campaign that was launched by those who resigned on the 24th of March 2025 has caused incalculable damage and offers a glimpse of the unacceptable behaviours displayed.
He built real, lasting bonds with orphan children and discovered a cause that grounded him in a way no ceremonial ribbon-cutting ever could. It was the one legacy he could truly call his own, free from the shadow of the monarchy. And now, even that is slipping away. Critics suggest that Harry's increasingly polarizing public image, fueled by his Hollywood turn and Meghan's hard-hitting media strategy, may have created the perfect opening for this hostile takeover.
In private. While a source close to Prince Harry and Prince Seeso said they are utterly devastated and see this as nothing short of a hostile takeover of the charity. They've put in blood, sweat and tears, and what's taken place under Sophie Chandauka's tenure is shocking.
Some say the trustees had grown weary of the constant negative headlines and sought to put distance between the charity and Harry's unraveling brand. Fair or not, the outcome is clear. Harry has lost control of the one institution that truly reflected his genuine compassion. Supporters of Chandauka insist the charity needed a more professional structure, but insiders question whether professionalism is worth it when it strips away purpose and personal connection. What happens when fieldwork is pushed aside, replaced?
Just have to have the briefest look at the Centre Bali website, and you can see that Prince Harry is still all over it. And actually, when you talk to people on both sides of this argument, they will tell you that there was a time when everyone was happily discussing the future of Centre Bali. That was until this round.
For Prince Seeso, who still lives in Lutu and remains deeply woven into the daily life of the community Centibel serves, this is a betrayal on every level. And for Prince Harry, it marks yet another institution lost, another bridge reduced to ashes, another chapter closed in what has become a long, slow descent from grace. Now, the looming question is, could this be the first move in a larger effort to erase Harry's influence from every legacy project he has left?
Fascinating is to see whether or not Harry's departure and the attention he brings is really going to be in the best interest of the charity going forward. We're told that Lesotho and Botswana remain a priority for Harry. Now it's about working out how he can still help in a meaningful way as the charity moves forward without him.
Or has Harry's reputation become such a liability that even his charitable work is no longer safe from corporate sanitization? The dramatic fallout from this so-called hostile takeover continues to ripple through both the charity world and royal circles. For Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso, this isn't just about losing their roles, it's about facing the gut-wrenching betrayal of being forced out of something they built from the ground up. Friends say the two are still reeling, stunned by how quickly everything collapsed. Their departure wasn't a quiet fade into the background. It was the very public dismantling of nearly 20 years of work, pride, and legacy.
And it's very much like recollections may vary. That is your perception of the situation, but that might not be what actually occurred or happened. And we were told at one point that there was an email that stated that Harry was
Sources close to Harry say he was visibly shaken, deeply wounded by the blow. What some dismiss as an internal charity dispute has, for him, become a symbolic and crushing defeat. A reminder of how hard it's been to hold on to the few ventures that truly reflect his identity beyond the monarchy. Losing Centabelle, a charity born from grief, passion, and purpose after his mother's death, cuts far deeper than a professional setback. It's personal. And now, he's forced to watch as someone else takes the helm of what he believed was his life's true calling. At the center of this storm stands Sophie Chandaka, a polarizing figure. Supporters praise her strategic vision and focus on long-term stability, while critics call her takeover, opportunistic, and dismissive of the founder's legacy. Whispers in the charity world claim she's trying to corporatize an organization built on heart and humanitarian values, something that doesn't sit well with either prince. The global press has taken notice too, digging into the governance shakeup, with some accusing the board of pushing Harry aside to usher in a new, controversy-free image. Intentional or not, the message is unmistakable. Harry's presence is no longer seen as an asset. It's a liability. His removal raises troubling questions about just how much control he truly has over the projects that carry his name. It also fuels the growing public belief that the Duke is losing relevance in every arena he once claimed as his own. From royal estrangement to Hollywood missteps and now upheaval in his charitable work, the pattern is hard to ignore. And in Lesotho and Botswana, the very communities Centabelle was created to serve people are asking a painful question. Ask ChatGPT. If the original visionaries were forced out, who now holds the heart of the charity? It's a question Harry and Seeiso may be asking themselves as they watch the organization they nurtured drift into uncharted waters without them. For Harry, this isn't just another lost battle, it's a public stripping of yet another piece of his identity. And the wounds from this betrayal may not heal anytime soon.